In the previous video of this series, I was stuck trying to figure out this electrical situation that I have here where this switch was just hanging from the ceiling, and I also needed to move another switch and an outlet to the right because we were moving everything so that I could install a big, huge 4x3 window. I did as much as I could, but when I saw myself dealing with more than 3 wires, guys, I was like, I need to call a friend. So thankfully, I had a friend that's an electrician, and he came over, helped out with the switch hanging from the ceiling, the other switch and outlet that were there on the wall that we needed to move to the right to make way for the window, and a bunch of other switches and things that we needed to get moved. Hi friends, this is Susie. In this video, we're continuing the renovation of my 2007 mobile home. I'm sharing my journey on how my family and I renovated this kitchen. And if you like this kind of content, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment. Please let me know what you think. I want to know. By the way, this is when I first started documenting my whole DIY journey and doing all of the videos. So I hope that you like everything that I put together here. I try to piece it together as best as possible so that I can show you everything that we did, how we did it, and how it turned out. I just wanted to give you an update on the kitchen. What we're doing today is that we are leveling off all the bottom cabinets. We did the sink last week. We had somebody come and help us with that because that is out of my range of skills, and I don't like plumbing really. So he helped us, and that is set up. So right now, all we have to do is get this cabinets aligned and leveled, and believe me, it has been really, really, really hard. There you go. Now we have the dishwasher here, then this is one of the cabinets that's going to go on this side, and then we have another one right here. And also yesterday I was working really hard on the electrical today, but I got stuck, so I'm having a friend coming over so that we can put this outlet to come up here, pull from this one here. So at this point I had already installed this 30-inch cabinet which goes at the end of the kitchen, and my friend came over and he took the outlet connection and put power up there where you see that outlet, and that's going to go inside of a cabinet that's going to sit on top of the countertop. I'm super thankful that he was able to come here and help us out because this was really, honestly, beyond any of my abilities. It took him a long time to finish the whole job, but let me tell you, just getting that switch from the ceiling into the wall was kind of crazy. And I'm trying to remember exactly how it happened, but I don't remember. And that's one of the things that I needed to do a little bit more in the beginning, documenting everything, because that was a very big thing and I don't remember how he did it. He also helped us with the kitchen island outlets. Once that electrical was done, I needed to start orchestrating everything else that was going to happen from here on out, from patching certain parts of the walls and ceilings to finishing touches in the kitchen island, and just planning the next step at the correct time so that everything would flow seamlessly. The kitchen island had been already assembled and all the cabinets had been secured to each other, so the only thing that I had to do was put the finishing panels on each of the sides. So at this point, almost all of the bottom cabinets were installed. Just seeing this was very encouraging, and I had already installed the drawer pulls, and you'll see a little bit later how I did that. But as you can see on that corner, all the top cabinets were still pending on installing them and getting them out of there until I could get to that part. We had to fix something underneath the sink cabinet, so my dad was the one appointed for that, as you can see right there. So today we're going to bring down this cabinetry and we're going to put in the pantry, and hopefully it fits. I think it will because I measured more than twice more than 3 times, more than 4 times, but you never know. And so we're bringing down this floating one that has been going around the whole place. As you can see, things have been moving all over the place, but we're gonna bring down this whole section that you see over here, and hopefully we can have our pantry and our over the range cabinets that are gonna be way these are kind of shallow. These are only like 15 inches, I think. So it's gonna be like 24 inches. It'll be all the way over here. And I'm excited to see this part come together because it's been a long while and I think it's time to get this done. Okay, so here is the pantry cabinet that's gonna go over here. Sorry about the mess, but we had to get everything out. And then here are the other wall cabinets, and I'm just missing the corner cabinet because it didn't bring all the screws, so that really messed me up. But we're gonna work with what we have right now, and then we'll deal with that later. This big cabinet for the pantry was a challenge for us to install with my sister, and so was this one that goes over the top of the fridge. We used 2x4s and some braces to have that secured to the floor, and then on top of that we put the big cabinet. It was a challenge to actually put that on top because it was just my sister and I, and it was so heavy. And then we also installed the cabinet that goes on top of the fridge, which was also a lot of work because we had to be on a ladder, and just trying to put it all the way up there was really hard. Then I started installing all of the drawer pulls and handles, and I absolutely loved them. The only thing is that, as I mentioned in another video, these are super nice looking and sleek and modern, but sometimes when you hit your leg or thigh when you're walking by, sometimes we're clumsy, it really hurts. But just looking at the kitchen looking like this, coming together, and everything just looking like what I was thinking in my head was super exciting. And I know it's totally random, but we were also dog sitting in the middle of all this madness, and this is our friend's dog, Rocky. I feel like this DIY journey has taught me so much, and I feel very proud of the things that I've learned. One of them is electricity. I am now dealing with the electrical here, and see on this side, there we have the switch that is going to take electricity to the one on top. I already did the connection there, and now I just have to attach it here, and I have to do it really quick so that my refrigerator doesn't melt. Looking back, I'm really excited to see that everything that I was doing was in an order where I could work to do the next step and set it up for the next step, because that's what you have to do when you're doing construction. You have to start with building up your kitchen with each project that you do. And this is exactly what was happening here. Sometimes I planned it intentionally. I knew what was gonna happen, and so I needed to start doing something first. But then sometimes it just happened naturally as we were building and making this kitchen. It's a classic. We're in the middle of the project and I can't believe that we've gone so far. This is just taking so much shape. We have bottom cabinets, wall cabinets, lighting in the cabinet. It's amazing. Now we're gonna tackle the bent hood, which brings its own set of challenges, but we will figure them out one by one. The situation here with the bent hood, I'm gonna have to patch up this part so that we have it covered. And we do need a range hood over here, but it has to bend out through the wall. So in this case, I haven't bought a range hood yet, and I have to figure it out. Okay, so I was trying to determine what to do here with the opening of the range hood with the bent. And what I see is that I have to go outside and unscrew the bent so that I can work and patch up the wall. So I'll do that. I'll be back. So this was a first for me. I had to take out this vent, and then once I took it out, there was a hole left on the wall on the inside and on the outside. So I had to start somewhere, and I started by patching up the inside first, and then I took care of the outside. Like I said before, guys, step by step. Sometimes I couldn't do more than one thing at a time. Alright, now we already have our template on the wall, and we know the distance that it's gonna be from the lower part of your stove to the range. Usually it's about 24 to 35 inches, the distance that you can... If you want to see the full detailed tutorial on how I install the range hood, just go to the link over here on the right. In the meantime, I was doing the patching of the walls and just everything that we had open holes and moved things, electrical and such. The next thing to do was to install the range hood, and we needed to put a mounting bracket to do so. I was there putting some anchors so that I could put that mounting bracket and get that hood installed. Luckily, it's not too heavy, and those anchors were heavy duty as well, so everything worked out well. I dry fit everything to make sure that I was putting and opening the hole right there in the right place, and then the cover. But then you'll see that I actually changed that elbow, because that elbow that the machine came with was no good. Luckily, the hole that I had opened was okay with the elbow that I replaced, so I was so thankful for that good coincidence. I am drilling the holes just like a clock so that I can go outside and I can now mark what my hole is gonna be. Don't inhale the insulation. Hi. This ducting that the range hood comes with is a no-go, guys. I had to replace it with this rigid one, which luckily was available, and I had to do some research because I was ready to return this thing back to Amazon. But luckily we found this and I was able to install it, and everything was bending out nicely and with the regular decibels that it says, because when it had the flexible ducting, it sounded like I was in the middle of an airport directing air traffic. Since we were in a mid-kitchen reveal, it was really satisfying to take off that plastic from the bent hood to reveal the nice stainless steel look, and to celebrate the little big win that we had with me figuring out that the ducting was supposed to be rigid for this bent hood instead of the one that it came with. Now that the left corner of the kitchen was 90% done, we moved over to another big project, which was the kitchen window. As you can see here, we had this really tiny small kitchen window, and we wanted to open it up to be a huge 4x3 window, which was really scary but really exciting at the same time. I had never done a kitchen window installation ever before in my life, so I decided to hire somebody to come and do the kitchen window. But they only went to do the outside where the siding is, because I decided that I was gonna rip off the drywall from the inside and also start doing the work while they came, because they were gonna take a little bit to come and do the job. From the outside, I also started taking out the trim and demoing that to make sure that when the people came to work, everything was easier and it wouldn't delay the process. Here on the outside, the siding had to come off and they needed to reframe everything to make that 4x3 window fit in the place that we needed it. When I was doing my research, I found that this is how that framing should look for the window, and that's something that it ended up helping me, because when they did that, I was able to see that they did it correctly. And then they just covered everything from the outside, insulation and then waterproofing, so that everything was up to code and perfect to go. But wouldn't you know it, guys, right when things are going really nicely when you're doing construction, something gets in the way. The window that we ordered was defective, so when they were installing it, we noticed that it wouldn't close or open nicely and smoothly how we had ordered our window to be, and it was more on the expensive side. So we decided to just go back to the Home Depot to have them bring it down and return it so that they could give us one that was working properly. But that only meant that we had to wait another 4 or 5 weeks, or 6 I think, to get the new window in, and hopefully they were gonna come back and install it, but that didn't happen and we ended up installing it ourselves. The catch here is that the second time, that window was not good either. While we waited for that correct window to come in, we did work on other stuff, as you could see, and we're really excited because today we're getting our countertops in and it's a good day. We have everything prepped and we didn't get the window done, but this is gonna be amazing. That's cool. Don't worry. You will only be one. Oh. Turn off the light.
Pull it up towards you. Just slowly, alright? Right there.
The result looks stunning. We picked out quartz for the countertops, and this is the pattern that we got for the material. It is beautiful. We did have a little bit of hiccups with the material, like this, where the material was stained, and they had to come back and fix that. There was also some chips in the material, and right here on this end of the cabinetry, the guy who came and measured, he mentioned that there was going to be another cabinet next to it, so they didn't finish the part like they should have right here with a nice seam. So they had to come back and fix that, but we weren't completely happy with it. It was time to pay a visit to IKEA one more time because we had to do one of the last cabinets for the kitchen. This is a tall cabinet that I had envisioned for the end of the cabinetry that's looking towards the dining room. There are so many possibilities that you can do with these tall cabinets that I didn't know where to land with my vision. So you could do paneled windows for the doors, and you can do open hinge windows going up. Or just closed windows. So many things, lights in the cabinets, so many things. We were so tired from getting everything, and my mom was just beat up, but we ended up with a good combination that you'll see right now. This is the space on the right that we were gonna do the cabinet, and as you can see, I'm still patching up the walls here, doing everything that needs to be finished. And here is where we started building up the tall cabinet. I started with a base with a drawer where I would be putting all of my silverware, then a garage here on top of that drawer, and then on top of that is going to be a cabinet where we would keep mugs, cups, glasses, and anything to do with beverages. In the end, here with the countertops, they came and they added another piece to that end of the cabinetry. And although it doesn't look good, and the guy came back a couple of times, he couldn't make it good anymore because it had to be done from the get-go. I ended up talking to the company and they gave me a refund, which doesn't make it right because it looks still a little bit of a Frankenstein fix. But next time I'll know what to look for. And when I review the paperwork, when they come and measure, I'll know better. Finally, the correct window came in, so we got right to work and installed the window. We had to take out this siding because, as you can see, it looks worse than a colander, and we decided to put new siding, so we took that out and put a new one. The new sheet of siding is about $30 or $40, which is not too much, but we ended up with a nice looking siding there. Drywall was almost done here, so trim for the window was next. Alright, so we are going to be doing a little bit of the trim work inside for the kitchen window. And what I'm gonna be doing right now is, if you see here this edge, it's very rough. So what I'll do is that I'm going to put this really handy corner that you can just put on top. Of course, everything is level, and I'll just glue it to there, and I'll do that all the way around, as you can see there. And then we'll do the trim, and it should be finished pretty soon. I used glue to do the finished edge, and that kept it in place. Next, we're gonna do the apron, which is gonna be in the next video. But for right now, Chubby has an important message for all of you guys. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and we'll see you in the next one.